What happened to Charlie Kirk has possibly rattled me more than anything that has happened in the last 5 to 10 years. And it wasn't just the act itself, it was the public response to it from both sides of politics. And we don't believe in going first on this show. We never have. I wanted to give myself a day to sort of get more information, collect my thoughts, and hopefully provide something useful to you. So what I want to say is this. It's in times like these that people look to leaders for leadership. And I'm not seeing a whole bunch of it at the moment. Let me get this straight. What happened to Charlie Kirk is evil. It should never happen ever again. There should be no retaliation. The longer this goes on, the more that I believe that this assassination, which is what it was not performed by a far left activist, and maybe that'll be the story that comes out. But I personally believe this was done by a professional in the most public of settings to create the most division that they possibly can. Because Charlie Kirk was not an evil man. Charlie Kirk, do I agree with everything he says? Absolutely not. No normal human being agrees with 100% of what everyone says. We're all different people. We all have differences of opinion, and that's fine. But what Charlie was doing, I have massive respect for. Charlie was doing the thing, was giving the left the opportunity to do the thing that the left typically tries to deny the right, and that is platforming. Charlie's whole shtick was going to universities and giving a platform to people who disagreed with him to be possibly have his own mind changed, but also to potentially show them perspective they'd never seen before. And that platforming of opposing ideas is so important, because to have a democracy, you need to have competing ideas. If you don't, then you have a dictatorship, and that's just the facts. So do I believe that this was done by some far left lunatic? No. I think this was done by a professional, ordered by powers far above all of this, to create the most division possible. To the people on the left, you cannot spend 10 years screaming at the top of your lungs that words are literally violence and deplatforming people, cancelling people for saying things that you don't like, and then celebrate the public execution of someone that you disagree with. To the people on the right, you cannot claim for 5 to 10 years that the left is bloodthirsty and runs on emotion, and then when something like this happens to one of your own, you go and do the exact same things that you've accused the left of. All sides need to get back to the centre now, because I don't believe this was done by some far lefty. I believe the whole and sole purpose of this was to cause as much division as possible. Because the last thing that the control structures of this planet want is unity. And we are starting to see unity all around the world. To me, this is not a coincidence. All around the world, we have seen marches for people supporting their nations. Not supporting the right of their nations or the left of their nations, but supporting their nations. Unity's happening. And an act like this seeks to destroy that unity. And we cannot let that happen. I'm not Christian. Charlie Kirk was a Christian man, devout Christian man. And Christianity teaches to forgive, to turn the other cheek, and to break bread with your enemies. That's what we need to do right now. This is not a time for saying the most outlandish things that you can for clicks. This is a time that everyone should be reflecting on where our society is at and how broken our society has become when people can actually be celebrating the public execution of a 31-year-old father of 2 young girls. His girls are 1 and 3 years old, and they will now grow up without a father because of this heinous act. We cannot let this be in vain. And the only thing that rationally makes the most sense right now is to come together, regardless of what side of politics that you sit on. We need unity now. So I would encourage you all to take a step back, refresh your mental algorithm. Understand that people that you're listening to at a time like this have various goals and aspirations. If the people that you generally look to for guidance in a time like this are stoking hate or stoking division or encouraging retribution or are reveling in the bloodlust of such a disgusting act, then maybe they're not the leader that you thought that they were. We need to come together. Whether you're from the left or from the right, we agree on 90% of the things in this world. It's that last 10% we typically disagree on. And all of us want the same thing. We want a safer, better, more prosperous world and life for ourselves and our loved ones. The only way we get there is through uniting. I really respect Charlie Kirk for what he was doing. I don't agree with everything that he said, but I respect the fact that he was literally giving a platform to people he disagreed with and having conversations. Because if we want to talk about having a democracy, the only way that you have a democracy is to talk to people that you disagree with. Going into echo chambers right now is the worst thing that you can do. I just want to send my heartfelt condolences to his family and to his loved ones. When this happened, all I wanted to do was hug my kids, because we never know when the last time is that we're going to be able to do that. I encourage all of you to do the same and reach out to people that you generally disagree with. Throw out an olive branch, bring people back together, because that's what needs to happen right now. And I can tell you right now, the usual power centers, the mainstream media, the politicians, we will hear the same rhetoric we hear all the time. From the left, we'll hear stuff about gun control. Well, guess what, guys? Look what's happening in Victoria at the moment. We've done machete control in Victoria, and 2 kids were hacked to death. Gun control is not the answer when a professional assassin executes someone publicly. It's a ridiculous conversation to have. From the right, you'll hear things about far-left lunatics. Guess what? Calling them lunatics makes it worse. It's more divisive. We don't need that right now. I often tell my kids to make mistakes, and we all make mistakes. And when big things happen and big mistakes happen, it's not the event or the mistake that matters the most. It's what we do next that matters the most. Think about your next 5 moves. Think about the logical outcome of those next 5 moves. And if the logical outcome is unity, coming together, bringing the temperature down and making sure these things don't continue to happen, then do those moves. If they mean the opposite of that, maybe recheck your strategy. Anyway, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. I hope this is some value to you. I'm sure we'll have plenty more to speak about on this week's show. Thanks.